everyone.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Kariss.
I'm really happy to have this opportunity to speak, and I'm going to talk a little bit about communication. So, some of you may not have understood all that, and I can relate. As someone who has a hearing loss, I felt this way for most of my life. I had many ear infections starting at just 6 months old, and the surgically inserted tubes meant to stop the infections didn't help. When I was a kid, I woke up and saw both my arms were completely red. At 4 years old, I didn't know the tube in my right ear had ripped out, rupturing my eardrum, or even that my arms were covered in blood. I just thought that I was turning into a monster. I ran to my mother and screamed, "Mommy, I'm turning red." But the words sounded muffled, and that's one of my earliest memories. Since then, despite multiple surgeries, I have never been able to hear like I should. In high school, my right ear finally accepted the patch to my eardrum, but I still have a partial hearing loss to this day. This has affected my life in ways the average person cannot think twice about, and it has made me passionate about deaf and hard of hearing awareness. When you live with a hearing loss, you learn to pretend all the time and every day. From elementary school through high school, having a hearing loss made a lot of social situations difficult for me. Kids teased me about my ear, which stuck out so far after having so many surgeries. I laughed at jokes I couldn't hear and secretly wondered what the punchline was. I acted as if I understood what people were asking and was embarrassed when I clearly got it wrong. Communication is vital for mental health and life. Deaf people have twice the risk of depression versus people who can hear because not being able to communicate increases feelings of isolation. Communication is critical to sharing information, not just about daily life, but about who you are, how you feel, and what's important to you. Our public spaces are rarely equipped to help deaf people communicate easily, and deaf and hard of hearing communities are not always easily accessible. Even when people have devices to help them hear, like I did, they don't always work well, especially in noisy environments. Deaf people want to communicate. They want to be included. They want to understand. I should know. My hearing was finally restored when I was a junior in high school. Even though I still have a hearing loss, I don't wear my hearing aid anymore. I actually gave it to my grandma. We don't often ask ourselves whether the people around us are struggling with hearing loss, or how we could help them. But it takes so little to make a big difference. When someone asks you to repeat yourself, they're asking for your help. Be patient. Don't get frustrated. They're probably getting frustrated themselves. Offer to write it down in a text. It may seem awkward at first, but these are small, everyday actions that can make a huge difference in someone's life. So, in closing, I'd like to teach you some of the words I signed at the beginning of the speech that may be helpful. And I'm still learning to sign, so bear with me. So this is how you sign deaf. It goes from your lip, like right up to your ear. Yeah. And then this is write it down. Just like act like you're writing something down. And this is thank you. So thank you.